pilots to the aircraft to the fun, and yes, the traffic too. Also, how air shows like this influence future generations towards a career where, yes, the sky's the limit. So get ready, buckle up. We're going to navigate the weekend. Live at 5 at 4 takes off in 3, 2, 1. Hit the afterburners. Good afternoon and welcome to the military side of McGee-Tyson Airport. Wow, the show has already started. John Becker along with Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell. Again, we're on the military side of the airport. The Blue Angels just landed. They are the main event, just finished up their practice. Todd, quick first impression.
Wow.
Wow is right.
I mean, the sights, the sounds, the maneuvers, the precision, on point. And it's just an incredible moment to watch them.
The pilots we talked to over the last few days say it's like being in charge of your own roller coaster. Think about being on a roller coaster. You pull about 4 Gs. These pilots are pulling about 8 Gs, twice that much, 7 to 8 Gs going hundreds of miles an hour in the skies of East Tennessee. So many viewers, Todd, have sent us video from their backyard seeing the practices.
Yeah, we were doing a Facebook Live. I did my best, probably not the greatest camera work, but folks, and I'm watching them from my backyard, and it's just amazing. I mean, here they are in East Tennessee. It's a tremendous event. It's a great spectacle, and we're going to have that forecast for the air show coming up for the weekend in a moment.
We are, Todd. We're going to get to that in just a second. I just want to let our viewers know we're going to show you what the grounds here look like. We're going to hear from a combat pilot who's flown one of those F-18s, and we will also hear from Becky Huckabee with the airport about where the money for the air show goes. That's all coming up. Todd, let's talk about the forecast. It's been a beautiful day across East Tennessee.
A great day this Friday. Great weather for a practice round. We have seen some clouds. We got sprinkled on about 5 or 10 minutes ago just for the show, just a little bit of a darker cloud moving over. But most of East Tennessee has been dry this Friday, and it's been a warm, kind of breezy afternoon. Heading into this evening, not expecting a lot of rain. Maybe a few spotty showers. The best chance for rain is going to be coming late tonight, and our weekend forecast will talk about those showers are going to be likely, expected to be likely tomorrow morning. Once we move into our Saturday afternoon, we're expecting that main concentrated area of showers that's expected in the morning to kind of slide northward and at least break up some. We'll still have a chance for some spotty showers in the afternoon, but it looks like not as concentrated, lifting northward, so hopefully improving enough for visibility, for ceilings to rise a little bit, where we are able to see most of the maneuvers for the air show for tomorrow.
We do have some static displays out here as well. They'll be rain or shine. We'll dive into that in just a little bit. But if you're coming out here, there will be things to see, even if you have to put up with a few rain showers. Todd, we appreciate it. We're going to get a quick check of the news headlines across the region right now at the top of the 4 o'clock broadcast. Our colleague Robin Wilhoit standing by live in the Channel 10 studios. Robin?
John, Todd, thank you very much. New today, a case involving a 2018 ICE raid at a Granger County meatpacking plant will be suspended for an additional 10 days, according to court documents obtained by 10 News. Both parties reached a settlement in principle last month. Now, other agencies and parties need to review the settlement and come to an agreement. The city of Knoxville wants your input on how to spend federal funding on those who need it most in our community. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development gave $4 million to the city of Knoxville. It's a one-time payment to fund local programs and agencies that work to increase housing stability.
We want as much public participation as possible because it is a community effort that is going to solve some of these problems. We are here to band together as a community, and it is through the support.
The city's Housing and Neighborhood Development Department will hold a hearing via Zoom on September 19th at 6 that evening. Coming up at 5 o'clock, we will hear from an organization that thinks the city should use that money to shelter the unhoused. Medal of Honor recipients visited the University of Tennessee today for a panel about courage, resilience, and issues many face after service. They include PTSD and stressors that come with returning home. Medal of Honor recipient Florent Groberg says his biggest lesson from serving in the Army was love.
I came out of it missing a piece of my body and with a completely different mindset and understanding what love is. Love that you can love someone that is completely different from you.
UT Chancellor John D. Plowman says this year the university hosted a special orientation for veterans. Also, the state legislature made it possible for UT to offer in-state tuition to veterans. She says this increased enrollment of student veterans. Well, the Tennessee Valley Fair kicks off right now at Chilhowie Park. It's back in full force with rides, fried food, livestock, live music, and so much more. And this year, there are some new rides.
This year's fair is bigger and better than ever. We have a new midway this year, Kissel Entertainment. We are so unbelievably excited to have them. They have all new rides there.
Let's give Ed a wonderful round of applause.
The fair is open till midnight tonight and runs every day through September 18th. And that is just a quick check of the headlines. We want to send it back out to John Becker live at the Smoky Mountain Air Show. And John, I love Todd's description. Wow. It's perfect, spot on.
Robin, so great to be out here today, and we wish you were with us. One person we know is excited about this is Becky Huckabee with the airport, and this is your territory. And we're going to talk about a couple of different things. Let's start with parking, because that's what people have been really talking to us about. What's your main message to them?
Well, parking is part of the way that we help pay for the air show experience, and it helps to bring those premium producing air show quality acts that they're going to come out and want to see. Not all of the military acts, or not all of the acts are actually military. They're commercial as well, so that helps us do that. And we're also using part of that money to actually support local organizations in our area. We have partnered with the community partners of the Boys and Girls Club and Second Harvest Food Bank.
It's a great way to raise money, and for people who are planning to come, you made a little change with parking. And explain that for us, Becky.
Yeah, we know that there might be rain tomorrow, and so what we have done is, before you could have bought a pass for Saturday or Sunday, now those passes are good for Saturday and Sunday. Or you can come both days if you want to. So that pass is good for any of the days. We'd love to have you out here.
Anything else that you'd pass along to people who are headed out here in the next couple of days?
Yeah, I just want you to make sure that you're checking our website at SmokyMountainAirShow.com. That's where we'll put updated information about the air show. If there has been any kind of impact with weather and inclement weather, that typically won't happen unless it's a safety issue, but we will be open even if it's kind of raining out here.
All right, Becky Huckabee, thanks so much. We really appreciate you hosting yet again. It is terrific to have the Blue Angels here and all of the demonstration teams in the static displays. Thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
We're going to check in a little different view of the air show, and my colleague Katie Inman is at a place that has a bird's eye view, the VFW 5154. Hey, Katie, what are you seeing?
Yeah, John, talk about a great view. This is one of the best. Of course, driving here to VFW Post 5154, you could see some of those Blue Angels practicing in the sky, but here we've got all sorts of veterans and their families that were watching that practice and really enjoying the show. Now, I want to talk a little bit about things that you need to keep in mind if you are planning to come to the air show this weekend. Now, make sure that you do your research before you come out here and know what you're signing up for. First of all, it's important to know that you can bring an empty water bottle into that show. You will be able to fill it up once inside. You just can't bring any of those water bottles and things like that that are already filled. Also, you need to wear comfortable shoes. A lot of these places that you're going to be able to park, you're going to have like a 30-minute walk to where you need to be for the air show. So wear those tennis shoes and be prepared to walk. The parking areas, like I said, are a little bit of a hike away, and there will not be shuttles to those regular parking areas either, except for those ADA parking spots. Also, bring plenty of sunscreen, a hat to block the sun, and potentially a rain jacket just in case it rains. You can't bring any of those umbrellas inside. Go online ahead of time and be prepared as well. Familiarize yourself with the day before you even drive there. We have all sorts of tips on our website at WBIR.com. VFW Post 5154 let me know also that they're selling parking all throughout the weekend for that regular price. Veterans, they said, can also, they got parking today for about $10. And in the next half hour, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about those items that you cannot bring into the air show. So I talked about some things that you should pack, but there are some things that are gonna be prohibited. So I'll go ahead and send it back to you in the studio, not in the studio, right down the road from me here, John.
VFW 5154. I want to turn quickly to David Rayburn because I want to explain this airplane behind me, because you see them in the skies across East Tennessee. This is the 134th Air Refueling Wing. These are the refuelers that refuel jets in the sky. I'm going to step out of the way, David, so you can show the back end of this jet, this aircraft, because that boom there lowers down in the sky. The person who's running it is laying down in the back of the aircraft, steering that into another airplane that is coming to refuel. They like to joke they're the one group of people who pass gas in the skies. A little something to share with your fans and family when you see them in the skies above Knoxville. They are such an important unit to our region and to our community, the 134th, as well as the 1st of the 230th. We'll talk more about that helicopter unit coming up. And stay with us. Much more of our coverage from the Smoky Mountain Air Show coming back in 2.
Our pre-owned selection has never been better, so no matter what you're looking for, we got it.
So
Tennessee, how's it going? This is Major Hayden Fulham with the A-10 demonstration team in the United States Air Force. We're going to be out there this weekend for the Great Smoky Mountain Air Show at McGee-Tyson Airport. We're excited to come back to Big Orange Country and show off what we can do. Hope to see everybody soon. Go Vols.
Welcome back to the Smoky Mountain Air Show. We are live here at McGee-Tyson Airport, and I want to run down some of the demonstration teams that you will be seeing throughout the day, both Saturday and Sunday. Let's start with the A-10s. This is an important asset in our military arsenal, really. The A-10 demonstration team will be here. That's the Thunderbolt II, the first Air Force aircraft specifically designed for close air support of ground forces. They use night vision goggles. A-10C pilots can conduct those missions during total darkness. We heard from one of them about flying in the cockpit. Let's listen.
I hope everybody has an opportunity to come out and see some airplanes, and be happy to show them around the A-10 a little bit. I know we don't get to bring it to East Tennessee too much, so it should be a welcome sight and sound, something a little different than what you normally see around there.
What's it like to jump out of a perfectly good aircraft? We'll ask the Army Golden Knights. They are the demonstration team for the Army. We have some video of them. They're another performer that you'll see here both Saturday and Sunday. Started in 1959, and they are an extraordinary precision group. We've talked to many of them in the past. They have won many gold medals. I spoke to an original member who actually was on the cover of Sports Illustrated because he was so adept at landing after jumping 12,000 feet out of the sky. They're one you're going to want to watch. Another team is the Yunkin Air Shows. They're led by Matt Yunkin, and they are extraordinary. Based out of Arkansas, right along the Oklahoma border. And he's got 5 crew members with him. They're in a Beech E-18, not designed to do aerobatics, that twin engine Magic Moonlight. It is an extraordinary piece of equipment, and you'll not be disappointed in that show by Yunkin Air Shows. Also, the night show lights up. You'll see a lot of these flyers. Bobby founded Yunkin Air Shows, and they are an extraordinary team. Just go to their website. You'll see some of their pictures. Yunkin Air Show. The Aeroshell Acrobatics team is another one you want to see. They were practicing earlier today. The smoke they put out is extraordinary. They're based out of Alabama, and they rock it. You'll also want to be here for a group we're going to talk about now, and that is the Blue Angels. And I'm going to bring in an expert in the F-18. That is a combat veteran. Captain Wilson serves with the Tennessee National Guard now. Captain, you've flown in combat, different aircraft. What's it like to be in the single-seat F-18?
It's just as fun as you'd think it would be, honestly, first off. But it's a blast. It's just a lot of fun, and it's amazing to see what kind of capability we have, whether it's the Growler, the Super Hornet, or the Legacy Hornet.
Let's talk a little bit about pulling G-forces. I've been told that most roller coasters you pull about 4 G-forces on a good day. What's it like in that aircraft?
In that aircraft, it's a little bit different. We wear a G-suit. It looks a little bit like chaps, but that inflates, and that helps push the blood back up to our brain, helps us out a little bit. And then we have a hick maneuver that we perform to also help sustain those Gs. And you'll see Super Hornet pilots pulling 6 or 7 Gs fairly regularly.
So almost double what we would on a roller coaster easily. What is the trickiest maneuver that they perform? What should people watch for in particular?
My perspective of that might be a little bit different, but especially any of the low altitude, inverted, gear down kind of maneuvers are pretty impressive, and it just looks really cool. But I always like the sneak pass that they do.
That is a good one. Captain, we only have about 15 seconds, but you're part of the Tennessee National Guard. How important is it for people to show their support to the units that are out here?
Oh, it's very important, but we want to support the area. That's our big focus, and personally I want to see kids get out here as much as they can so they get that spark like, hey, I could do that too.
What first gave you the bug?
I grew up on an airport down in Athens. Check out the Swift Museum Foundation down there.
Captain, we appreciate the time. Thank you for your service, ma'am. She is one of the extraordinary people that makes up the Tennessee National Guard here, and we're going to talk more about the 134th that's based here, also the 1st of the 230th. They're the helicopter unit, and you know them because they do rescues now in the mountains. They pull hikers out likely once a month. They help fight the wildfires in 2016. They are also combat veterans as well in both Afghanistan and Iraq. So those are the people that really make up this air base. I'm going to bring in Chief Meteorologist Todd Howe for more on the weather, but just so you know, our military community has about a $3 billion economic impact on this region in any given year. That study out in 2021. So it just tells you how meaningful it is to not only have an air show here, but what they do when there's not all this attention, Todd.
Absolutely. It's a huge event for our community and for the public. And you know what? Many folks going to be coming in this weekend to take it in. Weather-wise, we've had a nice, warm, breezy day today. A few sprinkles on us earlier. We have a few isolated spotty showers. We'll take an updated look at radar in just a moment. Here's what we're seeing right now as far as around the area for this upcoming weekend. Showers are going to move in late tonight into our Saturday morning. So showers are likely in the morning, but those showers are expected to gradually break up and move out a little bit once we get into the afternoon. So at least we'll have not the continuous widespread rains all day. Should see a little bit of improving conditions later in the afternoon with temperatures in the upper 70s. We were in the mid 80s today, and then Sunday low to mid 80s. More scattered thunder showers are expected late Sunday into Sunday night, and although during the day maybe just some spotty showers. So here's a look at our breakdown of our rainfall forecast going by day and night. Kaylee Bowers back in the Channel 10 studio doing the maps for me. And here's what we're looking at. Yeah, the highest chance for rain will come late tonight into our Saturday morning, and then those chances for precipitation tapering off a little bit later Saturday, and then they start to ramp back up again late Sunday into Sunday night and Monday morning specifically. But by Monday afternoon into Tuesday and most of next week, we are drying back out. So for the air show, as far as this weekend, we do have that chance for showers Saturday morning, probably lasting up until at least midday, maybe early afternoon, and then breaking up somewhat, improving in the afternoon. And then for Sunday, spotty showers during the day, but the best chance for thunder showers Sunday is actually late in the day and more likely into Sunday night. So with that, we're hoping for at least that the Blue Angels, the rest of the air show team, can get in as many as their maneuvers as possible. And so folks are going to be looking forward to that. And so not a washout this weekend, but we will have some showers kind of early and late as far as the weekend, with the break in the middle part of the weekend, John.
And just so Todd makes a great point about the Blue Angels and the other demonstration teams, they often will just cut back on a few of their maneuvers if the ceiling's too low. Exactly. They do have an ability to adjust.
That's exactly right. So think, today, 100%. Ceilings are high enough, some clouds, etc., but no adverse conditions. If the ceilings start to lower, as you said, John, more rain and lower visibility, they'll adjust accordingly. So, yeah, they'll hopefully be able to get in most of their show.
Appreciate it, Todd. Thanks so much. We're going to check traffic when we come back. Also talk a little bit more about how you can prepare if you were headed out to the air show. Again, they're expecting anywhere from 50 to 75,000 people over the first couple of days of the weekend here. So we'll be back with more on that. Hope you're having a terrific Friday. For the moment, we are live from McGee-Tyson Airport. We'll see you in 2. you the drive times because it's a little dicey out there. No shocker on this Friday afternoon. You see the speed's not bad, but look at the drive times, 18, 10, and 24 on Alcoa and Pellissippi, and you can see the direction. Traffic just about everywhere is slow going. No big surprise today on this Friday afternoon, but that's a quick look if you're waiting for somebody to get home in time for dinner. I want to talk about the parking areas. We heard from Becky Huckabee earlier, but let's dive into a little bit more detail. Again, those parking areas around the airport open at 7 in the morning. Remember, just like last time, it was a little bit tricky, so watch for officers. They'll be directing traffic throughout the weekend. Let's listen to one of them now.
Is due to the change of flow and traffic patterns throughout the day based on traffic and what we're seeing. We're going to have to change and adjust on the fly. Don't follow your Waze or GPS or any of those because they may take you to a road that is closed at that time or traffic pattern may not allow for you to turn down that road.
And you can learn a lot more about traffic and what you can and can't bring right now at our website, WBIR.com. Again, we are expecting thousands of people for the air show, so there'll be a lot of logistics, so pack your patience if you're coming here. One of the other things that I'd encourage you to do when you're here is just to talk to some of the people in uniform. I spoke to one pilot. She happens to be a teacher in Maryville. Well, she used to land jets on an aircraft carrier at night. And I said, well, weren't you nervous? And she said, yes, but you know what I did to calm me down? I wiggled my toes. That's a little something to take away from our air show coverage. If you're nervous about something, have to give a speech, have to take a test, have to do a live show from the airport, Leanne, are you wiggling your toes? It calms you down. Forecast for rain. Todd's wiggling his toes like crazy. All 10 of them. All right, we're going to have a lot more coverage from the air show on Live at 5 at 4. We're back here in just a few minutes. But in his off hours, guess who? Yes, that's Mike Witcher, pursuing his passion for flying. We're also going to talk about some of the practices that we're going to see in the coming days here at the Smoky Mountain Air Show. Let's take you back live here on the tarmac, and this is a live look at one of the refuelers with the 134th Air Refueling Wing. Again, we're on the military side of the airport here, and the 134th flying all the time. They do missions around the world, ensuring that our troops that are in combat or just in training have fuel in the skies, and the boom pops down from that airplane in mid-flight, and they refuel jets in midair. It's extraordinary to see. I pointed this out in the top of the 4 o'clock broadcast, but the person running that boom lays down in the back of the aircraft and actually steers that boom into an incoming jet. It's quite a connection in the sky at hundreds of miles an hour. The weather, of course, is going to be key for both Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to bring in my colleague, Chief Meteorologist Todd Howe, for more on that. And Todd, we really got lucky today.
Yeah.
As you said just a few minutes ago, the ceilings worked out perfectly for the practices and the Blue Angels and other demonstration teams.
Absolutely, looking pretty good. There is a darker cloud off in the distance. That's a little bit of a spotty to isolated shower that's just off to the east of Greenback. It's right along the Loudoun Blount County line, and you can see that off in the distance there. You also have a spotty shower that's moving in your direction over in Madisonville and Sweetwater as we check out the latest satellite and radar composite again. And zooming on in a little bit, here's what we're looking at. Again, some of those spotty showers will be possible. Not expecting a whole lot this evening, as we are generally looking at a partly to variably cloudy sky. It's been a warm afternoon with temperatures in the mid-80s. Let's go ahead and take a live check of Alcoa Highway, and right across from the way from us, I can almost see our camera across the way from the terminal, and again looking northbound there. We're looking at you're seeing partly cloudy skies from that camera view, and then looking south we're seeing a little bit more cloud cover, but temperatures have been in the low to mid-80s much of East Tennessee this afternoon, so it's been a warm day. A few spotty showers possible this evening, but again, otherwise we're going to talk about increasing rain chances by late tonight and into the morning hours tomorrow as the first wave of moisture starts to slide in early tomorrow morning, John.
Todd, thanks very much. We'll take a deeper dive on that in just a few minutes. A lot to see at this air show. Todd and I took a little tour. I want to show you one of the acts that's here. You know them well, the Budweiser Clydesdales. They are going to be here in the morning. 1982 World's Fair, they made an appearance as well, but you'll see them out here at the Smoky Mountain Air Show. Now, I just want you to see this tour that we took a little bit earlier of the grounds here on the military side. Now, the Tennessee Air National Guard side of this has been transformed. Chairs, booths, everything for the kids. There are places where you can buy t-shirts, also lots of refreshments, and then you'll see static displays, helicopters, other airplanes, a chance to get into the cockpit of a jet. That's one of the options. Again, that's what you'll see throughout the weekend, whether there's something in the sky to watch or night. Also, I told you about the impact that aviation has had here in East Tennessee, $3 billion alone just from the military influence in our community. Well, let's talk about the private side. The largest general aviation company out of McGee-Tyson Airport, Cirrus Aircraft, and those customers always spend a few days in East Tennessee learning about the planes that they are buying. We want to hear more from them about that process.
There's probably more aviation-related business here in East Tennessee than most people realize.
The economic impact is extraordinary. Air National Guard recruiters also use this as a chance to recruit kids who may be interested in joining the 134th or the first of the 230th. Both of them based here out at McGee-Tyson Airport. Let's listen to how the 134th recruits new flyers.
So folks, they want to come and be a part of something that is the best of the best, the best Air National Guard unit.
So the last air show that was here was in 2016. Since then, the 134th says about 800 people, men and women, have joined the Tennessee Air National Guard, so it is a great recruiting tool for them. Back live here on the tarmac, you see one of the 134th refuelers right behind me. And one person who knows both the skies and the ground and the clouds quite well is one of our colleagues, Mike Witcher, who in his off time takes to those skies.
I just love seeing airplanes in the sky. Every airplane that flies overhead, I'm always looking at it, so I've always had a fascination. Once I got up in the cockpit and started flying, I just love the freedom that you get. It took me about 6 months to get my license. However, it could have been a lot faster than that, but COVID happened, stuff like that. So I was kind of in the middle of the whole COVID thing when I finally did it. But that's the thing, before COVID happened, you know, I finally looked at my wife one day and said, this is something I have to do. Like, I have to do it. I had a buddy that was getting ready to go start taking lessons and stuff. And I finally was just like, I've had this passion for so long, I've got to do it. I try to fly several times a month. I mean, if you know, life happens. I'm a dad. I've got 2 kids, construction projects, moving, this, that, and the other. Always something seems to get in the way, but you got to make it a priority. I try to fly. My goal would be to fly once a week. I think meteorology is everything. You're in the elements right there. Also, being a meteorologist, it has given me a different insight on being a pilot and flying every single day. You get to see the clouds in a different perspective that most people don't get to see from the ground. You get to experience the wind that I talk about, but in a different form and fashion. You know, but weather is everything. Every flight you take, before you even leave the ground, you're always looking at the weather. I think if you have any interest at all in aviation, if you're the type of person that, like, every time an airplane flies up overhead, you're always looking, I'd say do it. If it's a passion, do it. Find a way to save the money. Start saving now. There's so many different avenues and ways to do it. Yes, it's costly, like anything new that you're going to learn to do. But there are clubs, there are people around airports. Go to an airport, talk to the people. But I would say the number one thing is do it, because life is short.
Mike Witcher with some great perspective there. We so admire his efforts to do all he does. Work at Channel 10, juggle a family life, and learn to fly. Hats off to him. He'll be a part of our coverage starting at 6 tomorrow morning for the air show. And coming up on Live at 5 at 4, more views and the sights and sounds from the Smoky Mountain Air Show as it makes its return here in 2022. We're back in just a couple of minutes.
flight pilot with the Air Show aerobatic team, and we'd like to invite Knoxville and all the surrounding community out. The 10th and 11th of September, Great Smoky Mountain Air Show. Smoke on. Come check it out.
Let's do it. What are they doing there? We got a little runner. It's Alive at 5, it's 4 in the Smoky Mountain Air Show. Somebody's getting a little PT in behind us right here on the tarmac. Ah, that was great. I thought they were yelling at us, Foxy. All right, let's go live. We are on the tarmac. I mean, this is the view that most of us will see throughout the weekend, but I want to talk to my colleague once again, Katie Inman, who is up top. She's got a little different view from the VFW post a little higher up. Hey, Katie.
Hey, John. Yeah, this is a great view from VFW post 5154. They hosted a lot of different veterans and their families up here today to be able to watch that practice a little bit ago. And man, it is gorgeous. You have that view of the mountains behind you. But if you are planning to come out to the air show this weekend, there are some things that you need to know about what you can and cannot bring. So I want to run through some of those things that you cannot bring, that you will not be allowed to bring inside. So you are not going to be allowed to bring tents, pop-ups, campers, or RVs. And even though there are some chances for rain this weekend, you cannot bring an umbrella. Bring that rain jacket instead. You're also not allowed to bring coolers or backpacks of any size, no cooking equipment, beach balls, balloons, signs and banners, horns or whistles, laser pointers, and you can't bring pets except for those service animals. You're also not allowed to bring things like bicycles, scooters, skateboards, hoverboards, anything of that kind. You are not permitted to bring those. And of course, you can't bring drugs or alcohol or anything of that sort, or weapons. Those will not be allowed in either. You can bring an empty water bottle in with you. It cannot have anything in it whenever you come through that line to get in, but I think the biggest thing you need to remember to bring is some really comfortable walking shoes, because from where you're parking, you're gonna have to walk a little bit, about 30 minutes, to that location that you're getting to for the air show to see the big show. But we're looking forward to a really great and fun weekend. The VFW Post 5154 is selling parking passes this weekend if you want to get this sort of vantage point as well. But for now, John, I'll send it back over to you.
Katie, thanks so much. We really appreciate them hosting you up there today. Such a great post, and they do a lot of great things for this community. We're going to have much more on the impact of the Smoky Mountain Air Show on our community when we come back with more of our coverage right here live from McGee Tyson Airport.
Hi there, I'm Matt Youngkin, and I'm looking forward to participating in the Smoky Mountain Air Show September 10th. I'll be flying this beautiful Beech 18 that you see here behind me. Come out and check out the event or watch us live on Channel 10 WBIR.
We're back live here at the Smoky Mountain Air Show, just one of the demonstration teams that you'll see if you're out here this weekend. We are at the home base for the 134th Air Refueling Wing. One of their planes is right behind me, one of those refuelers. I also want to mention the first of the 230th. These pilots deserve our thanks because they are flying on rescues in the mountains. They are flying on wildfires. They are combat veterans. They are also based here. They're the Black Hawk helicopters you see flying really almost daily across our community. I want to tell you about an experience I had with one of the demonstration teams that's out here. About 10 years ago, I had a chance to parachute out of a plane with the Golden Knights, the Army Golden Knights, that demonstration team made up of combat veterans themselves. The guy I jumped with, I asked him, well, how many jumps have you been on? And he said, well, this marks about 3,100. He had jumped into combat with dogs. He had jumped into combat with Afghani interpreters who didn't know what it was like to fly. It was their first flight ever. They knew what it was like to take off in a plane, but not how to land because they jumped out of it with him. And I said, what do you guys do in your off time? Do you jump motorcycles? What kind of crazy stuff do you do? And he said, we go to the private airport, and we get on a plane, and we start jumping out of that one. They are incredible. The other demonstration team we all know and have seen really across the last couple of days, the Blue Angels. They are making their presence known across East Tennessee, and wow, did they put on a preview for us today. One of their special guests is here in East Tennessee. He happens to be a naval aviator who is about to turn 102 years old, World War II veteran. Let's listen to what he had to say about his experience and what he's anticipating.
I served on a cruiser during World War II, and we were dive bombed by kamikazes. But I just made a decision. If I was going to stay in the Navy, I was not going to be down here. I was going to be the guy up there doing the bombing.
Mr. Galuli and his sons are special guests of the Navy's Blue Angels, and that is Saturday that he'll be here. If you have a chance to shake his hand, I highly encourage that as well. You're going to meet a lot of veterans as you come out and walk the tarmac. I'm going to bring in Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell to talk more about what we'll see over the next few days weather-wise, Todd. But what a privilege to just walk the tarmac and wave to people and say hi. We did that for a little while earlier today.
We saw some wonderful, delightful folks, some kids. Can you imagine a youngster being out here and taking in this view of the planes up close and then seeing them practice the Blue Angels flying overhead like that? The sights and the sounds, very impressive today indeed. All right, well, let's get you set for the weekend forecast. Here's what we're looking at. We do have some rain showers that will be sliding our way as we get later on into tonight. And so, yes, as we look ahead to your weekend, again, those showers are possible in the morning. Here's a breakdown of the day and night rainfall forecast. Again, today we're just looking at a 30% chance for some spotty showers into this evening. The higher chances for rain showers are expected late tonight and into tomorrow morning. So rain showers, our first main round will move in late tonight, and during the morning hours, we'll still have a chance for some spotty showers into the afternoon Saturday, but they should be breaking up a little bit more than the continuous rain that we'll see in the morning, and then another round late Sunday and Monday, and then we're looking at some improving conditions into next week. So there's a look at our air show forecast. Temperatures will likely stay in the upper 70s tomorrow under a variably cloudy sky. We do have that chance for showers through at least midday, maybe some spotty showers in the afternoon, but again, gradually improving conditions as we look ahead to our later the second half of Saturday into early Sunday. We do have some spotty showers near Madisonville, Monroe County, and other parts of the southern half of East Tennessee that will continue to rotate on through the region. So here's what we're looking at. Our weekend futurecast, again, showers will continue to develop as we go late tonight, and the first half of Saturday, there will be a chance for some of those spotty showers rotating through, but breaking up a little bit more later in the afternoon into our Saturday night and early Sunday morning. Here's what's happening right now just behind our back across the the tarmac and the runways there on the other side, Alcoa Highway. We're looking at 82 degrees from McGee-Tyson Airport for Knoxville right now, and around the region, 84 in Oak Ridge. Currently temperatures 82 degrees down in Athens, and low to mid 80s across much of the Tennessee Valley as we head through this Friday. So here's what we're looking at around the region. That moisture will be streaming up from the south as around an upper level low pressure system that's going to be kicking up that moisture northward late tonight into the morning hours Saturday. So again, there's a look at our regional radar depiction in our futurecast for tomorrow morning. Those showers likely, but they are expected to gradually move north. It may still have some spotty showers in the afternoon, but breaking up a little bit more later in the day into our early Sunday. Now, later Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, we're looking at some more spotty to scattered thunder showers possible. That's with the cold front moving in. That will bring more showers, a few storms likely Sunday night, Monday morning. And then the rest of next week looks very pleasant with sunshine. We'll go from the upper 70s Monday into the low to mid 80s later next week. So John and everyone, much of next week is looking really nice.
Todd, that's terrific. I talked about the demonstration teams with the military, the Army Golden Knights and also the Navy Blue Angels, but we saw the Aeroshell team that was demonstrating what they put on. What was your impression of that today?
Oh, precision. I mean, they were locked in. I mean, they were so tight together. And, you know, when you're watching it, maybe they're much further apart than it looks like they are. We're watching it down here on the ground level, but you're like, wow, they're so close. Their wingtips close to each other and just really in sync, synchronization.
Well said, Maverick. I appreciate it. We'll see you in the skies, I hope.
All righty. Here's Maverick right here.
We are 5 by 5. I'm more like Goose, I think. But let's go to some quick parking reminders. Again, the key is going to be to get here early. We're going to be back with more Live at 5 at 4 right after this. Some more parking reminders, what you need to know before you go when we come back.
But one piece of advice that we highly recommend is to arrive at the air show early. So the show schedule will be the same each day. So on Saturday and Sunday, the performance schedule will be the same. The parking areas will open at 7 a.m. and the air show gates will open at 8 a.m. So we highly recommend arriving around that time in order to miss out on some of the traffic that will inevitably back up as the day goes on.
Tell you how much important it is to pack your patience as you're coming to the air show. Even if you get here early, it's going to be a challenge. And hats off to the Alcoa Police Department and other troopers as well who will be here guiding people into the parking areas. Give them grace, tip a hat to them, and if they're standing by, give them a water bottle because they may need it. It's going to be a hot one, although we may see some rain, Todd. Just quickly for people who are headed out, the timing's pretty key.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Wear comfortable shoes. It's a little bit of a walk, and but certainly it'll be worth it when you get here to the air show. The timing is key. Showers in the morning, and showers should break up some as we get into the afternoon, expecting this first wave to gradually break up some as we get later today. There will still be a chance for spotty showers, so as you mentioned, maybe that poncho, some type of rain covering to keep you dry. But you know what? We got a wonderful preview of what they're going to be doing this weekend for Saturday and again Sunday. And it's the Blue Angels are incredible, but you mentioned Aeroshell, the Fat Albert, we just saw a little bit of a taste of some of the performers today. The whole show's incredible.
It is. Even if you're on the ground and walking the grounds, as Todd and I had a chance to do, again, you're going to have a chance to not only see some aircraft, some static displays of helicopters and airplanes and get a chance to actually sit inside them, but also to have a chance to meet veterans in this community and shake their hand.
Yeah, and I noticed you were doing that, John, mingling, and certainly they're so friendly out here, and certainly they deserve a lot of our honor and praise for what they do. And a lot of wonderful folks out here ready to put on a great show, and so it's going to be a wonderful weekend. Hopefully the weather will cooperate enough to see some good performance here.
We are grateful that they are playing such great host to this air show. So terrific to have it back here in the community of Knoxville. Benefits the Boys and Girls Club and Second Harvest, so your money's going to a good place if you're paying for those parking passes. Remember to know before you go, so check our website, WBIR.com, all the information you need to know. We're going to set the stage here in just a few minutes over on Channel 10 on 10 News at 5. Back with that.